What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I am Alex, and I am joined today by my good friend, Degenerate Jay, and we're here to talk about another Johnny Depp topic. I actually had Jay on a little while ago before the epic end of the saga of him winning the court case. We had a live stream together. A great guy. He's talked about Johnny Depp before on his channel as well. I'm pretty sure we're on the same page. I'm not bringing in an Amber Heard bot onto the channel, but all his stuff is going to be in the description if you guys want to check it out. Let's welcome Jay in, and then let's get a little mad. So Jay, thank you for being here.
So if I like pull a heel turn and reveal just insane support for Amber Heard, I'm gonna be in trouble, I'm assuming.
Yeah, then you're out. You're out for sure.
It won't happen.
By the way, to give credit to Jay, he's the one who suggested this, and so I want to talk. Well, he suggested Johnny Depp in general. This is something that stood out to me when it first happened. This stuff has always made me mad. Basically, a few days ago on June 18th, I believe. I think the post was on the 19th, but it was the 18th that it happened. Disneyland in Paris, on the Paris Castle, projected, they did one of their, end of the night shows, and they showed, like a mini scene. Of course, it got a great response, as these things oftentimes do. I don't remember which show it is. The website I'm on mentions a couple of them, the different, closing shows at the Disney Worlds. One's World of Color and one's Fantasmic. I think it was the World of Color that they actually, I don't know if you knew this, Jay, one of them, they always had, I think, Peter Pan. It was a Peter Pan themed thing. And it's an actual part of the showcase where there's a ship in the water. I'm sure, I think it's Peter Pan battling like Captain Hook, and they replaced it with Jack Sparrow. And they did it over the last month or two. And so I thought that was gigantic when it actually happened. It's still the same feeling where it's like, that's awesome they did it. It's actually even more incredible that you replace Peter Pan with pirates. That's actually, I feel, almost saying something. But it brings up the same discussion that we've always had, and obviously I want to get Jay's thoughts on this. I mean, where's the goddamn apology, right? That's the thing that the guy tweeted. Since Johnny Depp won, Disney needs to publicly apologize. This is even what Johnny Depp said this on the stand under oath, right? Where he's like, well, they have no problem selling my merchandise. And it's like, it just, Disney does not look nearly as bad right now as Warner Bros., right? I don't think it's hard. I think it's very difficult to look worse than Warner Bros. At any given moment over the last, couple months with Ezra Miller, with Amber Heard, and with Johnny Depp. But Disney doesn't look great with this either, right? Because it's like, oh, so you have no problem, and this gets response. People love this stuff to see him, whether it's a light show or whether you have somebody acting as Jack on a ship that I guess is supposed to be the Black Pearl, right? That's insane that they would do it, and yet where's the apology? Also, Warner Bros. Where's firing Amber? So I guess Jay we'll stick with Johnny, I guess. Well, we don't need to bring Amber Heard into it too much. But what do you think about the again, like he said, capitalizing off of him, his likeness with Jack, but not as of yet? I feel like they're going to at some point, but obviously not yet. They haven't apologized.
I think the cowardice around these companies is just really amusing to me in terms of how it's been handled. Now, obviously, I know they don't have to do anything, but they look so bad. Like the bad press, in terms of, not from the media shill outlets, but I'm talking from people like us, from normal everyday people who see it. It is just bad. And on top of that, you've seen a huge push to try and co-opt the narrative again on the other end. I'm not gonna, like you said, we're not gonna go too far into Amber Heard, but in terms of all these fake accounts trying to re-drag up parts of the whole Johnny and Amber trial and trying to make him look bad and stuff like that again, all kind of resurfacing at the same time, and then you have all these other companies kind of going back on it, we love Johnny, and it's one of those things where it's like, man, where were you 6 months ago? Where were you a year ago? Oh, that's right, you were hiding because you were afraid it would affect your bottom line. And it's crazy to me in terms of how this is working, just the discrepancy between it. I understand that you could say something, you could probably spin this some way well, since this whole thing happened, it probably taught them not to just get rid of an actor right away or something like that. But it's it doesn't really work very well that way, because you have all this damning stuff that came out for Amber, and then you have all this Ezra Miller stuff with WB going on right now, and it's just a complete and utter cluster. And then you have, someone like Disney bringing him back in almost in a way like, look how great Johnny is. And the whole time they were selling Captain Jack Sparrow merchandise. I mean, not just at not just at the theme park, by the way, not just at their theme parks. You go to Target, they have a Jack Sparrow action figure. It's been out for a few months. It's the Disney Multiverse series, I believe. I actually looked at it because it was pretty cool. They've been selling this throughout the trial. They're not afraid to make money off of Pirates of the Caribbean. During this whole scandal, you know what happened? Pirates of the Caribbean 1 re-released on 4K. So it's not like they're just not going to make money off of it, but there's no apology, there's no backtrack in any way, which sadly is something that I almost wonder if they're not backtracking because they're afraid of getting sued in a way. That's something I kind of thought about too, is when you have an employer and they fire you, right? And it's harder with someone like Johnny Depp because you enter contracts, but you essentially are an independent contractor that then becomes contracted to work for a company for a certain amount of time. So like Johnny is not a Disney employee, he's not salaried, but he goes under contract to work for them anytime there's a Pirates movie, or he'd go under contract for Warner Bros. To work with them for Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts that apparently no one cares about anymore because it tanked at the box office. Big surprise. When you have this kind of stuff happen, it's like during that time when you're contracted under them, you're protected a little more. But as soon as that contract expires and you're between them, they kind of have basically liberty to do whatever they want with you and with whatever you signed away, whether it be your likeness or the character you played or whatever. And even though they have the rights to do these things, like they have the right to not apologize, they have the right to ignore the issue, they have the legal right to continue selling stuff of him, essentially. They might have that legal right, but it makes them look really bad. And even if their idea is, we don't want to say sorry because what if Johnny then tries to sue us for wrongful termination, like from Warner Bros. Or something like that, like let's say WB, for terminating his contract wrongfully even though he was still paid. What if we get sued for it? It's like, I understand that you have those concerns maybe as a business, but everyone else looking on at you is just making a joke out of you. Like they're watching the Ezra Miller stuff happen with no word from you and they're just thinking you're a bunch of idiots. They're watching the Amber Heard stuff where there's no solid information on how much she'll be in Aquaman 2, if even now. And they just think you're a bunch of idiots. And so it's like, you might be afraid of addressing these things because it's admitting wrongdoing, but I almost think not admitting wrongdoing is making you look far worse to the general public. And I actually think that has more of a potential to impact you financially than it would just by saying we messed up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a reluctancy to accept that they were wrong at some point. So to me, I mean, yeah, the suing thing is definitely possible. I don't know. It's like the thing is, he got paid for Grindelwald. Like they upheld that. He didn't have a contract signed in stone for Pirate 6, right? So like what will, like if Disney apologizes, I really don't see how he can say, "Ha, gotcha." Like I was waiting for that apology so I could take you to court. I just don't see. I think Ezra or Amber, I've seen people argue maybe they could sue Warner Bros. If they were, say, fired from whatever. Maybe. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. Much like I played in the trial, I'm not a lawyer. I just literally just talk about it in my own opinions, my own words. But yeah, I mean, like you said, ultimately, it just looks bad. It looks bad not saying, especially, okay, because you have like a couple different parts to it, right? You had the reverse of this. That's like the thing that they probably wish didn't happen, because you have the UK case that they reacted to, right? So they literally reacted to the UK case. So now that makes this one, in contrast, it's like, well, you reacted to that one when he lost. Why aren't you reacting in a different way? Because he won. Like, why is that one different? Because he lost, but now he's redeemed. And if you look into the UK one, you'll find out that it was messed up from the beginning with the judge's connections to Amber, with him just believing her on her word that she donated the full $7 million to charity. That was a huge part of it. And also, the case wasn't against Amber. It was against the son, right? So, like, I'm sure these people have somebody on a legal team, Disney, Warner Bros., somebody could have looked that up. You know what I mean? So, you have that. And then you have, in this case, well, I guess it goes hand in hand. He won now. So it's like you reacted the one time when he lost, but you're not reacting now when he won, and he won. And like the world saw this. I guess that's kind of part two. The world saw this. Billions of views on TikTok, with a B. So many people saw some part of the trial. And again, like that's what Amber's side like praised that nobody saw any, right? So they can just kind of run with whatever narrative they want. But it's like, no, people saw the trial. They saw parts of it. They saw maybe the TMZ, right? Tremaine. They saw maybe Johnny when he was on the stand. Like they saw some part of that trial. You can't just tell them this is what happened when they saw something else. You can't lie to them now that people saw. And that's the same thing with these companies. Like you said, like Disney can't just sit back and they're like, well, I wonder if nobody noticed that he won, right? Maybe nobody noticed. It's like, no, we know he won, and we know that he's innocent in this way. Now, yes, is he the greatest human being on planet Earth? No. And did he do stuff to Amber? Yeah, but he didn't physically assault her. He's not a domestic abuse. And if you fired him from Jack Sparrow because of that, how do you sleep at night? You know, that there's that narrow, I guess, line you could go down. But it's like the world saw that he won, and you're just dead silent. And the world sees that too. Because I think if you apologize, he may like respond to you on Instagram. I think Johnny Depp would have like a post talking about Disney if Disney apologized to him. I think he would post that on Instagram. So the world would see that too. And that hasn't happened. So that's my thoughts. It's a horrible situation. I want him back for Pirates 6. I pray every night that it's going to happen. And I still feel relatively okay, to be honest with you, because money does talk, as we just said. And, I mean, a Pirate 6 with him, I mean, it would make so much money, it's not even funny. So I feel like that it's always a possibility as long as that is around. So I guess that's my thoughts on it. Jay, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same position as you. It's, I don't know, it's really sad to me because he deserved better. You know, I mean, I think that we can all kind of agree on that. He just deserved better than he got out of all of this. And, you know, I think people throw up so many straw mans where, like you said, when you talk about this, it'll be, well, he's not perfect. No one said he's perfect. Nobody's arguing that he's perfect. Nobody's arguing that some of the stuff he said in those text messages wasn't not nice or wasn't vile either. But we have someone who was, in my opinion, suffering at the hands of abuse, lashing out, getting angry, and also dealing with substance abuse on his own, lashing out and getting mad and talking in, private to someone, then getting recorded, on, I believe, the day after his mother died by this same person and all this other stuff. And you're taking all these out of context, like rock bottom moments and I've seen people trying to paint the situation differently. It's just sad to me. Like, I don't get how the people who have demonized him to no end sleep at night. I don't know how the companies that bought into this narrative do. I don't understand why these people buy into it either, because it's always the idea of like, what if they come for you? That's always been my thing is, say you're a high up Disney executive. Well, if Johnny Depp, gets fired over allegations and you are a participant in it, what if I'm just saying me, randomly claimed that some bigwig at Disney abused me in that way? Like, do you think they won't fire you? You know what I'm saying by that? Like, it's one of those things where you leave this door open and you go along with it because it's the path of least resistance that seems easiest for you at the time as a company. But it's like, really, like you see someone like Johnny go, and you see what happened now with Bill Cosby, which I would say rightfully, where like finally all this stuff is exposed. And it's like, if these huge names, like these massive names, are not safe from termination, whether it's, in someone like Cosby's situation, I think proven in my opinion and justified, or you have someone like Johnny where it's not proven, not justified, and they just kick him out the door. You think that you as an executive are safe? You think that your employees are safe? You've opened this Pandora's box that you can't shut again, and people know and people watch, and now they know that they have influence. They know that they have sway. They know that their accusations have sway and are given immediate merit. And so you have such a cluster of problems around all of this that's much bigger than just, well, Disney should apologize. It almost gets into like a cultural problem now. And they could help close that box again. They could kind of help say, all right, look, we made a mistake. This is why witch hunts and things like that are bad. This is why this kind of stuff shouldn't happen and why we should be more careful. But instead, it they're leaving that door open for potential future problems with other people, with themselves, their own employees, and morally, it's just very questionable to not admit fault there when you did something really messed up. It's sad to me in so many different ways. It is going to end up biting them in the backside eventually, and it already is. And I think it's just really funny that it is to watch Warner Bros. Suffer with this and the Ezra and Amber stuff, and to watch Disney kind of suffer at the hands of like public outcry over this stuff. To me, it's like it's about time, and I think it's really amusing. They could shut it down, but they're just too prideful.
My quick response to that is that's very well said. And like you said, like this is a chance to right wrongs. And it really goes, like you said, the cultural thing with Amber, where, you know, she says like this is a step back for women. No, it's a step back for liars. It's a step back for people that come up with this stuff that have no evidence whatsoever, and they're making it up to try to take somebody down. That's what it's a step back for. It's a step back for you. It's not a step back for actual victims. In fact, it's a step forward because now we're including males, because for the last 5-6 years, we haven't included, you know, half the population, right? So it's actually a huge step forward. And it's the same thing. Same thing for these apologies, where it's like, no, actually, this can be a moment of healing. Imagine what it would be like for a Disney to come out there and say, we were wrong. We're sorry. We didn't, we, you know, it looked bad. You can be as honest as you want. Like, we couldn't take that image of you on us. We couldn't do it. So we had to get, but we should have waited for the evidence, because we believed one side's words. Oh, and remember, at that point, when Disney fired him from Jack, was just when it was words. It wasn't even a court case yet, win or lose. So it's like, we took her words over your words, and we're sorry. We'll never do that again. Like, imagine the bridges that would be built, not just with Johnny Depp and Disney, but in life, where it's like, yeah, you can make mistakes or you can burn bridges with somebody, but if you can accept that apology, you can rebuild it. I mean, it's got power to do more than what maybe people think on the surface. But these companies, they're too big for that, right? Their egos are too big. I don't know. But it's really, like you said, my final word, it's really going to hurt them when it comes time for the next Pirates movie. That's it. You know, if they ever are going to, you know, they did announce Margot Robbie's, but trailer, when they announced that it's filming, if they showed a D23 or something, I mean, it's going to get destroyed unless they fix it, you know, before we get there. So if they don't want to do anything, hey, fine. Right now it's tweets saying you should apologize to Johnny. When it comes time for the next Pirates movie, you're going to feel big heat. You're going to feel the heat Warner Bros. Feels now is what Disney's going to feel, you know, in a couple months or years from now when Margot's movie gets going. So that's up to them if they want, because again, they're better. They're in a better spot than Warner Bros. They don't have to endure that. Warner Bros. Is screwed. They're stuck with it. With Grindelwald and all that, and Fantastic Beasts failing and all, but Disney doesn't have to get that far if they don't want to. So it's up to them. So let us know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed here. Make sure you guys also are subscribing to Jay's channels. I'm going to link both of them in the description. Just click them and it'll take you right to his channels. Give him a subscribe. Jay, thank you so much for being here and talking a little controversy, but an important topic.
Hey man, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I know stuff like this can get very heated. It's nice to have a friend that I can actually talk to this kind of stuff about without it becoming an argument, and you know, we can actually kind of get to the bottom of it. So I appreciate you having me, and I look forward to another video with you soon.
Of course, and thank you guys so much for watching, both of us, and we will see you all on the next video.